Safely disposing of unused medications, 4th of July activities are announced, and trash bashers. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. I'm Neil Noah, and this is Lexington Now. As the opioid epidemic continues to grab headlines, those battling the crisis have been looking for more effective ways to fight it. One of those ways is to empty medicine cabinets of disused medications. And now there are more ways to do just that.
The Journal of American Medicine estimates that 80% of people using heroin right now became addicted through prescription pills. And that's pretty profound. What it tells us is for 80% of people who are using heroin right now, they didn't make a decision to buy a street-level drug until they were already actively addicted. And for 70% of the people out there abusing prescription pills, they're not their pills. They're from a friend or a family member. It tells us the most dangerous place in each and every one of our homes, the most likely place to cause addiction with our kids and our grandkids, is the medicine cabinet. That's why I'm so excited about the announcement here today, because one of our largest national pharmacies is bucking the trend. They are taking responsibility and allowing the return of unused prescription medication at the same place that their customers come to get their new prescriptions. CVS is joining my office and other attorney generals across the country in helping to clean out our medicine cabinets. They understand the scope of the opioid epidemic and are stepping up to do their part to stem the tide. For far too long, there were limited options on how you could return your prescription medicine. But thanks to CVS, thanks to this first initiative, which I hope is a first initiative, CVS is making disposing of unused prescription medication so much easier. They have opened 9 of the kiosks you see here today throughout the state, and we certainly hope they will install many more.
A byproduct of the overprescribing of opioids is that these powerful medications are stocked up in medicine cabinets across this country, where they can be misused, abused, or diverted. Since 2014, we have been working with local law enforcement to provide opportunities for patients to safely dispose of unwanted medications at more than 850 police departments across the country. And through this effort, to date, we have collected and disposed of more than 140 metric tons. That's 300,000 pounds of unwanted medication from medicine cabinets.
All right.
Thank you, General. Today, as the General indicated, we are expanding our drug disposal collection program with the addition of kiosks like this one at 750 of our retail pharmacies across the country. In Kentucky, we've added 9 in-store collection units to the additional units we've donated to police departments across the state.
Partnering with law enforcement by providing the boxes to the Lexington Police Department and the sheriff, that's amazing. I mean, look at the tons of medication that we're taking in our downtown locations, and now having boxes out and more accessible to people in the community means that more lives are going to be saved, that less access to some of these opioids that are destroying or adversely affecting our community and destroying lives. That's amazing.
Safe storage and disposal of medications, as we know, is a proven strategy to protect our families in this community and others from harm. It is a simple way, kind of a no-brainer of a way for citizens in every home in this community to be part of the solution to this problem. And so we at Voices of Hope take every chance to be part of these cross-sector collaborations, these efforts where we see government and corporate America and nonprofits and the private sector, the families and individuals in the homes across our state to come together to be part of addressing the needs of those that are impacted by this epidemic. And so we are honored, as I said, to be part of this moment where we're officially launching the use of this box in this community, and hopefully many more to come after.
When we announced our Kentucky Opioid Disposal Program, I talked about hope coming in a 1 pound pouch. Today, we have a little more hope coming in a very heavy drop box. But now that we are working and CVS has stepped up to really create access to safely dispose of prescription medications, it is on us to push the responsibility of each and every Kentuckian to use these options, whether it's the pouch or the drop box. Let's make sure that we clean out each and every medicine cabinet in each and every home throughout Kentucky.
Lexington's 4th of July festivities are second to none and are one of the highlights of the year. The high points of the 2018 festival were announced at a press event this week.
This 4th of July, the big blue building, Dudley, will become the big red, the big white, and the big blue building. The fireworks are moving back downtown. And they will, yeah, that was an applause line. And they will be shot off from the 31st floor of the Lexington Financial Center right here. The 4th is our biggest celebration, and we're bringing the fireworks back downtown so we can celebrate in the neighborhood that we all share, the downtown. We are returning to the tradition Lexington loves and building on it.
Coming together is truly what sets communities apart. So, when the DLP approached us with the opportunity to use the Fifth Third Tower as the site to discharge the fireworks, we immediately loved the idea. It felt like a gift, allowing us to expand the show to even more of the Lexington community. Residents will now be able to gather at more locations across the city because we have the opportunity to set the display higher in the Lexington skyline. The Fifth Third team takes pride in our role to celebrate our country's freedom, and we want to thank the City of Lexington, the DLP, and our community for embracing this two-day festival. It is our honor to contribute our support and celebrate with you.
Our relationship in this wonderful festivity will be that we will be choreographing the music and the soundtrack of the day. And fireworks with music make everything go even better. So we're really excited to be along with Zambelli Fireworks, the world-renowned folks who I should suggest to you and remind you have been doing fireworks around here for a long time, including at the ballpark where the Lexington Legends have played. We'll all be joining together to give this spectacle to all the citizens of Lexington. And while we're looking forward to that, I want to tell you how our citizens can participate in this. They can download a free app by visiting our website, classicrock921fm.com, on any device, and click on the live listen button and save the link so that you'll be able to hear the music wherever you are here in our central Kentucky area, or for those of us who are downtown enjoying it.
Moving the fireworks display to the Lexington Financial Center required trust, due diligence, and teamwork from many people. On behalf of DLP, I want to thank those individuals today. Without the support of Mayor Jim Gray and his staff, I know Jeff Reed's over here and Kevin were involved in this instrumentally as well, this endeavor would not be possible. We encourage residents of Lexington and the guests of our cities to truly make a day to remember in downtown. Registration is open for the Bluegrass 10,000 foot race. Vendors will spend the day with an assortment of food, drink, and more, and our parade will delight fans of all ages. In addition, many of our downtown restaurants, bars, and retail shops will be open for business and ready to show off what they have to offer.
What exactly is recyclable in Lexington? Find out after the break.
One of the largest private capital projects to ever happen in Lexington is now underway. I'm Kenny Bishop with the City of Lexington, and today we're going to tell you about the construction of MetroNet's fiber optic network here in Lexington, a project that's going to touch nearly every street in the city. And we'll show you how it might affect your property. Right now, most homes and businesses in Lexington are connected to a telephone line and a coaxial cable for television. Now, a third telecommunications line is being installed throughout the city. This time, the cable is made up of glass, fiber optic cables capable of transmitting data at the speed of light. These new cables will bring gigabit internet, television, and telephone service to homes and businesses at really high speeds. The City of Lexington has entered into a franchise agreement with MetroNet, the private company that's investing between $70 and $100 million to build this fiber optic network here. That means MetroNet will have access to the city's right-of-way and its utility easements just as the other utilities such as cable television, electricity, and natural gas have. In neighborhoods where utilities are overhead, MetroNet will be putting its fiber optic cables on telephone poles. In neighborhoods where all the utilities are buried, the cables will be underground. It's important to know that this network will go by your house, but not to your house, not just yet. When the network is ready, and if you decide that you want MetroNet service, your house will be connected to the network then. But they're building all over the city to give people that choice. Here's a map showing where MetroNet is building first. You can stay up to date on the schedule and the progress by going online to metronetinc.com/construction. So, what if MetroNet is building in your neighborhood? Here's what you can expect. First, you'll get a letter, and then a postcard letting you know that construction is on the way. You'll also see large signs at the entrance to your neighborhood and smaller signs closer to your mailbox. The signs and letters will include more information, and then you'll start to see trucks in your neighborhood as the installation begins. Just so they don't cross other public utilities in the area, there's a system for the gas, water, and other utilities to mark the locations of their facilities before MetroNet starts their work. So you'll probably see some little colored flags as well. MetroNet will not be digging large trenches in anyone's yards. Underground boring machines like this one minimize the disruption. These machines can tunnel just below the surface for hundreds of feet before re-emerging. And MetroNet assures us that they will restore all disturbed property. Some telecommunications companies use boxes like this one, but MetroNet will bury their boxes and cover them with green plates so they're out of the way. If you have anything on your property that MetroNet should know about, such as an underground irrigation system or a dog fence, you can get in touch with them at metronetinc.com/construction to let them know. Now, we know that dealing with construction is difficult, but it's only temporary. And when it's finished, Lexington's homes and businesses will have access to some of the fastest internet in the world. Remember, for more information or to discuss issues on your property, you can visit metronetinc.com/construction. More information from the city can be found at lexingtonky.gov/gig.
Welcome back to the show. If you're at all like me, you may be guilty of over-recycling. Angela Poe introduces us to some new initiatives to educate the public on what is and what isn't recyclable in Lexington.
So we're at the Recycle Center today because Lexington runs our own recycling center, and we get recyclables not only from Lexington but a lot of surrounding counties. It is a big, busy process out there to sort through all of the recycling, and it's really important that we get only things that we can recycle to the recycling center, because what happens if we don't is a lot of times the contaminants get caught in the machinery, slow down the process, we have to stop the whole operation, clean everything out, and start over again. So it's really important to know what is recyclable where you are. And here in Lexington we have several ways that we're communicating that. We have a new trash bashers, which I'm pretty excited about. So this is something that we give to kids, and they just have to sort these recyclable or non-recyclable items into either the trash or the recycling. So it's an easy way. There's a cheat sheet on the back so people know if they got it right or wrong. We've also updated waste guides, and that also has good cheat sheets for recycling in it. We have new flyers that are picture-based, And so hopefully we're trying with these sorts of items, the trash bashers, the flyer, everything, to make it really easy for people to know what we in Lexington accept for recycling. Just because it has a recycling symbol on it does not mean it's recyclable. That's a really important lesson. So bottles and jugs, plastic bottles and jugs, glass, steel and aluminum cans, paper, cardboard, box board, the kind of stuff the cereal comes in. That's it. There's a lot of spinning parts on the machine, so anything that can get wrapped around these spinning parts causes huge issues. So ask us, get some of our new items that will help you remember what's recyclable. You can email livegreen@lexingtonky.gov and we'll get those items to you. If you want a big group to hand out at your church or a neighborhood association, we're happy to have help spreading the materials so people know how to recycle right.
Spring in Kentucky can be a volatile time of the year, with the clash of the seasons often bringing dangerous weather conditions. John Bobel of Emergency Management has a few tips to navigate safely through the severe weather season.
There are some things we want people to remember about being prepared for severe weather. The first thing is we want people to be aware. It's very easy these days when you have a smartphone or a cell phone and you get text messages from just about anyone. But severe weather preparedness means you need to have at least 3 places where you're going to get severe weather information. Make sure you keep that phone of yours charged at all times. And it's a good idea to also buy an auxiliary battery pack. So if you're in a place where the power goes out and you need to rely on your cell phone, you can at least keep it charged a couple of times with that auxiliary battery pack. The most important thing, though, is to have a NOAA weather radio. It's very easy these days to forget that the NOAA weather radio is the most important appliance in your house next to a smoke or fire alarm. The NOAA weather radios, they're about $30, and they can be programmed so that they only set off alarms and alerts if there's severe weather here in Fayette County. Severe weather just doesn't happen during the day. A lot of people are seriously injured or even killed from severe weather and tornadoes that happen overnight. Your cell phone may not be loud enough. You may not even keep your cell phone in the bedroom with you. It may be in a charging stand somewhere else. But a NOAA weather radio in your bedroom or someplace where everybody can hear it when it goes off, it can make the difference between life and death for severe storms. Also, we encourage people to sign up for our new Lex Alert system. You can go to BeReadyLexington.com. That's the emergency management website for Fayette County. Check out the sign-up information form on the BeReadyLexington.com website for Lex Alerts, and you'll be able to sign up for the extreme severe weather alerts and warnings. The next thing we want people to remember is it's important to make a family emergency plan. And that can be an individual plan. If you're single or live in a group environment with a couple of roommates, doesn't really matter. You really need to have a plan so that people can stay safe during emergencies. Everybody should have an out-of-town emergency contact. That's somebody you know. It could be a friend, a relative, someone who has a good telephone or mobile phone connection. First of all, you need to let them know that they're your emergency contact. So in case of an emergency, you contact them out of town with a text message or a phone call to let other people know that you're okay. Family members, friends can call your out-of-town emergency contact and they know that everything's okay. The next thing to do in your emergency plan is to make copies of important documents. They may be your driver's license, your birth certificate, other important documents, court documents, insurance papers. Make copies of those and save them ideally to the cloud or some other sort of storage drive. If you have to leave home or where those documents are originally stored, you can get copies of them. So if you come back and need those documents, you can easily get hold of them. Worst case scenario, you could be digging through rubble. If it's a fire, they could be destroyed. But if you have copies of those in a safe place, you'll always have access to them. The next thing we want people to do is to build an emergency kit. Ideally, you should have an emergency kit for where you live, where you work, and whatever type of transportation you have, a car, a truck, a van. Each one of those areas should have its own emergency kit. For home, make sure your emergency kit has a first aid kit in it. That's very important. A battery-operated AM/FM radio, also a good thing to have. Flashlights with extra batteries so that if the power goes out, you have a way to see in the dark. At least 3 days worth of food and water, so that if for some reason you can't get out of your home, if it's a blizzard or some other type of storm that prevents you from getting out, that you can be self-sufficient for at least 72 hours, at least 3 days. Finally, we want people to get involved with being prepared for emergencies. Take a class in first aid or CPR. Here at Emergency Management, we have our Community Emergency Response Team. They take 9 weeks worth of classes where they learn some advanced first aid, some fire and rescue. They learn about firefighting. They learn how to organize in a neighborhood in case of an emergency, because it's important to know that if we were to have a tornado or other violent storm here in Lexington, firefighters would not necessarily be able to reach all the neighborhoods at the same time. It could take several hours. It could take a day or two. It's important that people have the supplies and the know-how to take care of each other. It's also important that you know your neighbors, know your friends, know people who may need a little extra help during an emergency or a power outage, so that if you know them now, you can reach out. Because that's important. Lexington's a very caring community. We've seen that time and time again during the ice storms and other accidents. So it's important that you remember to be aware, make a plan, build a kit, stay informed, and learn a little bit about emergency preparedness.
Council continues its spring recess this week, so there are no televised meetings on the schedule at Lex TV. But when there are, you can watch them live, as well as our other programming right here on Channel 185 or on our live stream, and find any meeting archived at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV, or find other programming on our YouTube channel at Lex TV. That's all for this edition of Lexington Now. Keep up with us all week long on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at our handle @LexRex. Or get a bird's eye view of our live traffic cams on the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.